kids are the only ones without what might turn out to be a ticking time bomb. So, when the going gets rough, and it will, because Canada is going to be among the last of the countries in the world to give this up, because we have become a nation of obedience and conformity. There are signs elsewhere that the wall is coming down, in the UK, in Israel, in the Czech Republic, in the red states, and in fact in some of the blue ones. But Canada will be among the last. Hang in there. And you have to know that when the going gets tough, you have already won. Hang in there. Do it together. Thank you very much.
Give it up for First Party, everybody. It's great to see more people coming in. Again, I just want to, if this is your very first rally, raise your hand right now. Look around you. We welcome you to our Freedom Family. This is Freedom Family and we are one nation. Next speaker is a great pleasure for me to introduce as well. I was watching him speaking the truth against in spring 2020. Please pay attention to the people that have been standing for the freedom since day one. Randy Healy has served as a member of provincial parliament since 2007. He represents Lanark from Kingston since 2018 as a PC member until he was removed in 2019. He has been by far the most outspoken member of provincial parliament against the use of face masks, vaccines, lockdowns, and the development of COVID camps during past year. He is well respected, and we are honored to have him here today. Randy Healy, everybody!
Welcome everybody to freedom in downtown Toronto, freedom in the capital of Ontario, and freedom in Canada. Listen, I wanted somebody was going to be up speaking after me, and I just wanted to remind everybody that man and I stood at this statue base back in the fall of 2020. And it was a marvelous time. It was a little bit warmer. It was rainy that day. But in October, Maxime Bernier and I were up here on this statue talking about and breaking the laws of Ontario at that time. Fuck yeah. And I challenged Doug Ford. I said, come on out and give me a ticket. Come on out. I want to see you in court, Doug. And he was cowardly. And he didn't come out that day. But he did come out 25 more times after that, and I've got a wall full of tickets now. And I wanted to say this. Last Sunday, 2 OPP cruisers drove up to my house on the Sunday night. And I looked out, we were sitting in the kitchen, and my daughter said to me, I wonder who that might be, 2 cars coming up the laneway. And we all looked at each other and we said, well, it's probably the cops. And sure enough, 2 OPP cruisers were pulling in the laneway. So I went outside and I greeted them. And I said, what are you doing here? And they said, oh, we're just bringing you some more paperwork. I said, it must be a hell of a load of paperwork for 2 cruisers to come up to my house with summonses. We sent them on their way. We've got lots to do, lots of battles in the courts. But where we're going to win that is right here, in the streets, is where we're going to win our freedom back. So I want to thank you all for being here, for speaking out and standing up in defense of freedom. Because we all know that this is a great struggle and a war with the enemies of freedom. Absolutely. But I want to also say, let you know about the Canada today compared to the Canada that I grew up in.
Absolutely.
These days, we often hear Canadians describing themselves or other Canadians as being nice, polite, and always saying sorry, even when there's nothing to be sorry about. It's as if Canadians today only see themselves through this singular lens, this singular defining characteristic of being docile, passive, and deferential. Now, I'm not opposed to anybody being nice. I'm not opposed to anybody being polite or apologetic. But if that's our only defining characteristic, then let's not be surprised that we are easily bossed around, easily bullied, and we think that we're unable to fight back. But that doesn't describe me, and it doesn't describe you. And it certainly doesn't describe the Canada of my youth. When I was young, I had a hero. We all had heroes. People that we looked up to. People that we aspired to be like. People who embodied the characteristics that we tried to emulate. One of my heroes was a fellow named George Chuvalo. Everybody remember George Chuvalo? Put up your hand. He was the 5-time heavyweight champion of Canada. He's Canada's champion who fought 93 bouts in the ring. He fought Joe Frazier, George Foreman, and Muhammad Ali. And in 93 bouts, he was never knocked down and he was never knocked out. And as Muhammad Ali said after the fight, 15 rounds at Maple Leaf Gardens, Muhammad Ali said, George Chuvalo, he's the toughest guy I've ever fought. Now, George Chuvalo is a kind, nice, and considerate man, a gentleman. But make no mistake, he's a scrapper, he's a fighter, and he represents my Canada. He embodies my Canada. Scrappers and fighters. We might not always win, but no one is going to knock us down and no one is going to knock us out. And that's who we have to be in this fight for our freedoms, in this battle, in this war with the enemies of freedom. And who are these enemies that seek to destroy our freedom, destroy our economy, and who are shredding the very fabric of our society and our families? There are those that we can see. Our governments who seek to punish us if we act freely. Our public health authorities who seek to keep us in a state of fear and in denial of the evidence. Our media who promote these false narratives and censor and suppress those who speak with honesty and with facts. And then there are those who collaborate and enforce the message of fear, danger, and terror. The shopkeeper who refuses your entry if you smile and show your face. He is an enemy of freedom. The pub owner who demands to see your Vax pass or refuses you service is an enemy of freedom. The employer and the labor unions who demand mandatory vax or to fire you are enemies of freedom. The doctor who refuses to fill out your medical exemption and the teacher who places a mask on your child are all unseen collaborators and enemies of freedom. Every person who casts scorn and ridicule upon those who act freely is an enemy of freedom. Then there are the profiteers who fill their pockets because of our fear. Big Pharma, like Pfizer, Moderna, and so many others. Big Tech, who also censor and suppress our freedoms, our enemies of freedom. And there are the hosts of so many others, like Fauci, who helped create a pandemic by creating a bioweapon with the communist Chinese in Wuhan. They are our enemies of freedom. These people and their businesses are not our allies. They are the enemies of freedom. But there are more. They're the ones that I call the grifters of freedom. Those who have attempted to sabotage the freedom movement or to hijack it for their own personal fame or gain. They have fractured and sowed division within our movement, and they do it under the cloak and guise of being our friend and ally. And now we see more clearly what is in store for us, or what is not in the stores for us. As the mandatory vax for truckers take hold, our grocery stores and food supplies are being shorted. The shelves are being emptied. Our cattle feedlots in Western Ontario are in peril and in crisis. Basic food and necessities of life are intentionally being shorted by the enemies of freedom. And in every war, there's a term that's called the fog of war. It describes the confusion of not knowing who or where your enemy is. So let us all be alert. Let us all be awake. So we know who our enemy is. And let us stand up to these enemies and stare them down. And reject their narrative of fear. We won't accept Dr. Tam, or Dr. Karen Moore, or Justin Trudeau, or Doug Ford as our Canadian leaders. They are the enemies of our freedom. Let us all be like George Chuvalo. Let us all go into the ring, regardless of who our opponents are. No matter how powerful they look, or how daunting they appear. Let them know we will never be knocked out. We will never be knocked down. We will never give up. We will go the distance, however far and however long that distance is.
Fuck yeah!
We will not surrender. We are Canadians, and we are free Canadians. On this stage, and everyone in this crowd, are free fighting Canadians, and we will not give up.
Never!
We must be like that childhood hero of mine. We must put Ontario and Canadians first. We must put faith, freedom, and families before fear. And we must fight to always defend them every time. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Randy Hillier! Randy! Every single one of you has responsibility to stand up for what is right and make sure that civil disobedience is the only way we can end this peacefully and fast. The next speaker I'm going to bring up, Maxime Bernier is the leader of the People's Party of Canada and Canada's only federal candidate who's speaking out and fighting for the removal of all unscientific COVID-19 measures and vaccine mandates. Mr. Bernier has been a member of Parliament 5 times, serving as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of State for Small Businesses and Tourism. In 2018, he left the Conservative Party of Canada to sit as independent MP and announced the launch of his new party, the PPC. The purple wave is here! Maxime Bernier, let's go! Hello, everybody! time to fact check what these authoritarian politicians told us 20 months ago. It's easy. They lied to us. They lied. They said only 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That was a lie. They said that COVID is a deadly virus, and they said that about 3% of infected people will die. That was a lie. In reality, less than 1% of infected people with comorbidities died from COVID. Yes, that's sad, but that's the reality. They told us that masks, lockdowns, curfews, stay-at-home orders, that will be temporary until we have a vaccine. That was another lie. They told us that the vaccine will be efficient and 95% efficient. That's what they said. And if you have the vaccine, you won't catch the virus, you won't spread the virus. That was a lie. After 2 shots, vaccinated people and unvaccinated people can catch and spread the virus. All lies. And now we have 85% of the population that is vaccinated. And we were supposed to have herd immunity. But now we don't have that. We have a pandemic of the vaccinated people. They told us that when 75% of the population will be vaccinated, we will regain our freedoms. That was a lie. They always postpone the goalposts. They always changed the goalposts. I'm tired of that. You are tired of that.
Yes!
The end is coming. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough!
Enough is enough. And these lawyers will see that the future is in our hands. I want to thank you, everybody, freedom fighters. It is because of you that we are winning that battle. We said, and I said in the beginning of that pandemic, that when tyranny becomes law, revolution becomes our duty. And that was our duty, and now we have that ideological revolution, that freedom revolution here in Canada, in UK today, and that's coming. We are winning that battle because truth will always